Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, the question that I will be answering is, when Jesus returns, where does he return to? How will everyone in the world see him at the same time? Many Christians believe that Jesus will return in person because of some passages in Scripture that depict the second coming of Jesus in literal terms. For example, every eye shall see him in Revelation chapter 1 verse 7, or Jesus descending in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 16 to 17. And also the words of the angels that Jesus would return in the same manner that he ascended in Acts chapter 1 verses 9 to 11. But careful study of the scriptures will reveal that Jesus would not return in person. I begin with the most obvious. Paul denied that Jesus would return in person and affirmed that he would return in spirit in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 16. And I quote from the New King James Version, "Therefore from now on we regard no one according to the flesh. Even though we have known Christ according to the flesh, yet now we know him thus no longer." Furthermore, the disciples asked Jesus for signs of his presence in Matthew chapter 24 verse 3 because they knew from listening to his sermons before that he would come in a way that a lot of people wouldn't notice. But if he were to come in person, everybody would know, right? So it clearly wouldn't be in that kind of obvious fashion. And that's why they said they needed signs to identify his presence. If they thought he would return in person, they wouldn't ask for signs, because his physical presence would be their sign, as it was during his first advent, according to Luke chapter 11, verses 29 to 30. Now, some Christians will refute this point by claiming that the signs signal the imminence of Jesus' return, not that he has actually returned. But never in Scripture have signs indicated that God is about to do something. They indicate that God is already doing something. The 10 plagues were signs and wonders that God showed to the Egyptians to tell them that he had come to deliver his people, not that he was soon to come. If you read Exodus chapter 3 verse 8, God said, "I am come down now to deliver my people out of the hand of the Egyptians." Not in the sense that God physically came down, but that he was now ready to fulfill his promises. Okay, so, and that also, by the way, is one way to understand when Paul said that Christ will descend. It doesn't mean that he will physically descend. It's in the same sense. God didn't physically come down. He turned his attention. He was now ready to fulfill the promises that he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In addition, Jesus Christ said in Revelation chapter 16 verse 15 that his return would be as a thief in the night. Now, some people also interpret this to mean that it would be sudden. But a thief does not necessarily do their thievery suddenly. But what's certain about their thievery is that it is hidden. Thieves steal in the night so that they won't be easily seen. Jesus, of course, is not returning to do something evil, but it would be similarly hidden to the world, including to most Christians, because they are expecting Jesus to return in person, when in fact he will not. So it is hidden to them. Jesus was similarly hidden to the Jews in his first advent. He was physically standing before them, but he was not the Messiah they expected, if you read John chapter 9 verse 16, and so they disregarded him. Now, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verses 16 to 17 seems to imply that Jesus would return in person, and the doctrine of rapture is actually taken largely from this text. But that teaching is wrong. Jesus said that the meek would inherit the earth, not heaven, in Matthew chapter 5 verse 5. And Jesus taught us to pray for God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven, because it is the earth we will live in forever. If you read Matthew chapter 6 verses 9 to 10 and Isaiah chapter 45 verse 18. Now, Jesus did speak about some people going to heaven in places like John chapter 14 verses 1 to 3, but he was not speaking to all Christians. Jesus literally said those words to only 11 people, right? All the 12 apostles apart from Judas Iscariot, right? So, but more generally, it referred to all the apostles. So it also included Paul and others that were not named in Scripture. We have to understand, not all Christians are apostles, just as not all citizens are in government, and not all dependents of a man are his wife. The apostles are the wife of Jesus, and they live with him in heaven, the master's bedroom. If you read Revelation chapter 21 verse 9, and like I cited earlier, John chapter 14 verses 1 to 3. And then we who are their children, we're not their siblings, we are their children. Paul said in Galatians chapter 4 verse 19 that he begot or brought to life the Galatians through the gospel. Okay, so we are their children, and as their children, we take the other bedrooms in the house, which means the earth, not heaven, according to Psalm 37 verses 9, 11, and 22, and Psalm 25 verses 12 to 13. Now, Acts chapter 1 verses 9 to 11 is also used to make the argument that Jesus would return visibly because he was seen ascending visibly. The angel said, "Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." But the angels were not commenting on the fact that he left visibly and then he would return visibly. No. What they were saying is, you've just seen him go now. As he has left you for heaven, he's also going to come back at some point. Just as Jesus himself had assured them in John chapter 14 verse 3, that I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again. Okay, the disciples were looking intently into heaven because they felt inwardly that Jesus was gone. Right? If they really believed that he would come back, then why would they be looking? No, they would just say, okay, he's gone now. In the future, he'll come back, and they'll go, focus on the ministry. But they were looking up because they actually thought that this was it. And the angels were telling them, no, this isn't it. He's going to come back. Not that, just as you've seen him rising, he's also going to descend, and you're going to be standing there, and you're also going to see it. No, because we've established from the other verses we looked at that Jesus is not going to be returning in person. Okay, so I hope we now get the sense of how or the manner in which Jesus Christ was said to return. It's not that he would come in this literal visible fashion as a lot of people are saying. The reason why we even have those signs in Matthew chapter 24 is to show or to indicate his presence, his spiritual, invisible presence. And there are other videos on this channel, on my other channels, where I've also established that these signs are actually fulfilling, meaning that Jesus Christ is actually reigning now. But I'm not going to go into the details of that because that is another subject. But if you enjoyed this video and like the way I answered this question, I would appreciate it if you click the like button and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell as well so that you'll know when we come back with future videos just like this. Have a great day and God bless you.